We're all gonna find out and have this shared moment together with these songs and with each other and being here together, and it's just a really special, unique, once-in-a-lifetime moment. Seeing what's gonna happen as it unfolds live in front of us, that is a really special experience.
Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater, coming to you from the Indiana State Fairgrounds in Indianapolis, where we're on site for the All In Festival that's going on here this weekend. One of the highlights is the Beatles Dreamset. Back in 1964, almost 59 years to the day, the Beatles actually performed here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. We've actually got the original microphone stand that John Lennon used here, and his microphone is here, although we're not using it for the show. So lots of great stuff happening here. Those dream sets are so cool. We're set up with a house band, and then the artists come in and each perform their favorite Beatles songs. We're gonna be talking to some of those artists, plus we'll be hanging out here at the festival, checking out the music. We're talking to some of our Sweetwater friends as we've been here this weekend. So stick around, we got lots of great stuff to show you today. To get some background on what's happening with the Beatles Dreamset, we sat down with the man himself. This is Paul Peck. It's great to see you, Paul.
Thank you, Mitch.
You are the man doing these Dreamset thing, and you've been doing them for a while.
It's my specialty. It's a passion project, something that I'm really inspired by. The opportunity to celebrate classic music that we've all known and loved with these amazing artists that are generous enough with their time to come in and step outside of their comfort zone and do something different and special with us. Something that I've sort of just gravitated to, working closely with artists on these special once-in-a-lifetime collaborations where the stars sort of align and something happens that nobody exactly knows where it's going to lead, and we find out all together at the same time. And it's a really special, thrilling, and hopefully sometimes goosebump-inducing experience, and that's what we're going for.
So this year at the All In Festival, you've got the Beatles are the focus, and pretty cool thing is that 59 years ago, almost to the day, the Beatles were here at this exact same location playing.
So special. I really believe that when something special happens in a space, some remnant of that lives on, and some energy is left behind, and it can almost be reactivated or tapped into later. And the fact that the Beatles played the same room as our main stage this year and last year is a really unique thing. So, our festival's signature tradition is these once-in-a-lifetime all-star collaborations with special guests and surprises. And last year we did the music of Tom Petty and the music of the Allman Brothers, two separate ones. And this year we decided to tap into that history of the Beatles.
Beatles were the first band that I really discovered when I was a kid. My mom and dad loved the Beatles, played the Beatles in the house all the time when I was growing up. So it's a full circle moment to be a part of this show today because they're really the reason why I got into music. Forever I will be that kid that just is obsessed with the Beatles. They've changed my life when I first heard their music, and I think to be a part of this today is just a huge honor.
Not everybody grew up on the Beatles, but everybody can respect and appreciate some of their music. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people really get into the later stuff because, they evolved so much and the studio techniques and all that. But I really grew up on the early stuff, and so it was kind of cool to see somebody pay homage to that because it doesn't get as much love.
Right.
And the Dreamset's got it's all 1964.
The Beatles are such a big influence on me and our band, and in songwriting in general. They're the song kings. So it's so nice to get to play these songs 60 years later.
So you have a house band, and then you've got the different artists from the festival are doing their own sets, but then they're also coming in and doing a couple of songs, and you've got special guests showing up and surprises. And
a lot of us haven't, and myself, I haven't gotten to see most of these songs that I've grown up listening to live. Mm-hmm. And that's a really special thing. And then when you throw the virtuoso musicianship into the mix, and we rehearse it, and we plan it out, and we put the musicians and the artists into a comfortable situation to do the uncomfortable, try something you've never done before.
Right. In
a live environment without a net, an audience in front of you at a festival, which is a challenging environment to start with, even if it's your own show. But to learn a whole new set of hallowed ground history you know, that everyone has their own like meaning behind these songs. To do that live, it's a lot of responsibility, but we're all gonna have this experience that to me replicates the festival. We're all gonna find out and have this shared moment together with these songs and with each other and being here together, and it's just a really special, you know, unique once in a lifetime moment.
Are there any of these songs that are special to you, that are the things that they call to you within those songs?
You know, honestly, the later Beatles stuff was more what I felt very drawn to in the last like 15 years as just a fan. So it was fun to revisit these songs because there's a couple of them that I always brushed over, like didn't really pay mind to it because they were played so much. But when I really learned it and dug deep into it for the first time, I realized that there's like really special stuff in there, and She Loves You was one that was like, I've heard that so many times, but I never like realized how great it was.
So you guys are doing a number of songs. Is your approach to try to duplicate what the Beatles did, or are you guys trying to do your own version?
I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, you obviously want to stay true to kind of the foundation of it, but also got to add your little flair in there, a little fire in there, so kind of give everybody just a little bit.
You guys have a little different style than they did.
Yeah, 100%. We have members in the band that's you know, that's their full background and upbringing, so they bring a little bit of that in there, for sure.
Yeah, and there's always, you know, the thing with the Beatles is the songs, right? And that's the melodies and the songs.
Absolutely.
And so having an appreciation for that, and I think
everything working together too. It's like on top of the lyrics, the music underneath it, like you said earlier, the melodies and the harmonies, like everything just works together to make a really good song.
We're doing it pretty true to form, I would say. You know, I kind of can't help put my own little thing on it, you know, just in both the playing and the singing. So, you know, it'll be as much of a tribute and honor while still being unequivocally myself.
Anything that's iconic that people know, you gotta pay tribute to what it was.
Right.
And then there's some songs that I'm playing that there wasn't actually piano or keys on that I'm gonna play a little whirly or a little organ on. So that will be inevitably my own thing because it wasn't on the record. So that'll be fun too.
The thing about the Beatles is I feel like you have to stay true to the records, but in some way you can make it your own, whether it's a guitar thing or a vocal line or whatever. But I respect this music so much that I'm gonna try to play true to the records.
You put together a group of background singers. How does that all work? How do you get them prepared to step on stage?
We put this together actually in just about 4 or 5 days. So it came together very quickly. These singers are all members of the Indiana University Singing Hoosiers, which is a 90-voice group that I conduct. When I got the call about it, I wanted to put together 4 singers that I knew would represent us well and you know, have the ears and the skills and things to kind of put these arrangements together essentially without any sheet music, without any charts. So we got together, had an hour and a half rehearsal, 90 minutes around the piano. I played and just kind of taught these things by rote, and they picked it up very quickly. And a lot of it was based off of what the Beatles did on those records.
Sure.
But then we added a couple things here and there too to kind of supplement and augment too.
I listen to it once and I just write down what I hear. I usually listen for the bass first and then fill out the chords. And with Beatles, it's usually like, it's not too difficult to hear it, but then when you really dig deep, like you can hear that a guitar and the keys are doing something slightly different. And so then you get into nitty gritty and kind of just try to figure out exactly what's going on. Then I stop and then I usually check with Max and Rob, guitar and bass, to double check that we're on the same page.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you can play to what's on the record, but you have to play to what's on stage, and that's important.
Tell us a little bit of the history of how you got into doing this.
Yeah, I've just always been passionate about these types of shows. I love seeing amazing songs played live by amazing musicians, and I love things that have a little bit of collaborative energy, especially when the people that are collaborating have their own perspective but are like strong enough artists to be comfortable. A little bit of a fluid musical landscape.
Right.
So when I was a college kid, my favorite club in the world was Tipitina's. It actually still is my favorite music venue in the world. And the first show I ever got to do, I was begging the people that booked the club to let me do a show of all my favorite Stevie Wonder songs by all my favorite artists in New Orleans that I could get to say yes to do a crazy show. And the format was the same. It's like we rehearse We circulate the music, we get horn charts written up, we have different people singing different songs, and we do some of these songs that are so meaningful. And that was kind of the jump off to my career. I used to do all the super jams at Bonnaroo dating back to the first year of the festival. These are dream shows that I just want to see myself.
Right.
And when I can experience them with a great audience of people that are just like me, seeing what's going to happen as it unfolds live in front of us, that is a really special experience. That's the kind of experience that myself as a music lover and a festival goer and a concert goer, I chase that experience around the globe. When you rehearse these songs inside and outside, and when you start doing it live and you throw the audience energy into the mix, something changes. You never know exactly what's going to happen, and I think that's a really beautiful thing.